Hi everyone, and welcome here. Bit of news before we start. I'll try and keep the noise of my breathing out of my nose and or mouth to a minimum. Sorry about that if that's been upsetting you or you've been conscious of that. If you're new here, hello, stick around. It's worth the wait, I promise. And secondly, I don't speak with great authority on this piece of music. In an ideal situation, what will happen is what happened last time, which is James Francies will leave a comment with my corrections, and then I can repost the video. That is not a request, a desperate request to him. That would be ideal. And then perhaps just one tier down from that would be a whole bunch of pro YouTubers come after me in the comments and be like, yo, that's not how you do it. And then you all can get a PDF or a good tutorial on this piece of music here. So I don't speak with authority or any mission to impress you, just to share my love of this piece of music and teach a lesson on it. So it won't be like, oh, I'm gonna play the track and do a cover and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I want to do. It's also not what I can do. I can't play this piece of music well. So we'll dive around, then I'll play bits. There'll be mistakes. It's not going to be a through composed kind of thing, and it's by no means kind of perfect. But I'll try and get the ideas roughly there. James Francies, you know this if you've clicked, is, I mean, quite possibly one of the best piano players in the world, in my opinion. And he does all sorts of there's loads of layers, or what I think are layers. If they're not, you know, heaven help us. Who is this man? There are all kinds of layers and aspects of the piano groove. I've not seen him play it as a solo piano. No doubt he does and can. I've seen him play it in a trio. And he starts the piece different ways. They often start it here on Elgar's cello concerto, funnily enough. E minor first inversion to C major 7 with a 6. A major 9, and then G major 9. So the video at Chord, if you've not seen that, you know, turn this off and go and watch that, and then come back, of course. There we go. So that's that. Okay, but the album version and other versions that I've seen, maybe the home Tiny Desk version, starts on B minor 11. That's the melody. So it goes down to D major 9. I'm not going to spell all the chords and what have you, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what's going on here. You know, my advice just on that is don't try and play this piece necessarily exactly like James Francies, maybe a bit like him, because he's such a great kind of example of an amazing musician and piano player, but then try and make it sound in your way. And of course, I love in James Francies' music hearing things that I was doing already. There's lots of examples of that in this piece. It's one of the reasons I like it so much. So those of you that know any of my music, I have a piece called I Know You Know, and it has that voicing. It actually starts on that voicing. And then it goes. That's how that goes. And so it has this. And it had that long before I'd heard 713 by James Francies. So that's cool. D major 9. So So yeah, the melody continues like that. I think it's goes back to B minor. I guess that's B minor over F sharp. The bass certainly plays F sharp, and then this chord here, which I think is E major to F sharp major 7. I think, and again I could be corrected. You could play it as B minor and then play it there, and it looks a bit like B minor to B flat minor, but I'm not convinced it is that. I think the way I listen to it, I hear more that voicing, that sound, which sounds to me like E major, right? So I will spell this one just for a moment here. B, which is the 5 of E, G sharp, which is the 3. There's a add 4 before guitar players get too stressed out about whether it's add or sus. Yeah, so E major to F sharp major, 7. A sharp in the bass, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, so add 9, major 7. You know, and again, it sounds awfully lot like B flat minor 7 because it is that, but it sounds also a lot like F sharp major 9. So let me try and play some of that again. Yeah, so the tempo's poor, and you know, I'm not gonna try and play it to you well, or maybe I will. It's under tempo. Yeah, that's way under tempo. And this melody, which is extraordinary. So go back a step here. D5, D power chord, A minor, first inversion. So important, so different. Nearly F major. That would sound great. But it's, again, correct me if I'm wrong, A minor, B flat major, E major first inversion, then the same melody but harmonized a different way. G minor, D major first inversion, D minor first inversion, and then this run. I won't attempt it any quicker than that. Yes, I will. No, I won't. Other people can have a go at that, and the melody continues. The second time round, he does something really cool. The bass, the bass follows up, and it's like variants of F sharp 7, which is the 5 chord in B minor, which is so cool. Then this bit. Yeah, so that looks like B minor again, really wide voicing and dissonant and melodic. How do you want to spell that? I think it does that. So it looks like B flat major minor 7. This one, I don't think the A resounds. So that looks like a variety of things. It looks a little bit like that. It looks a little bit like so variations of E flat major or E flat minor. Again, I'm not entirely convinced either way. You know, that makes me think of E flat major, and then to a much more obvious voicing, chord rather, which is an E major first inversion triad over F sharp 9 sus. That nice melody there. All of this I think is still in 4/4, so a slow 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, my tempo is slow, but this syncopated melody happens over that in 4/4, and then it moves out of 4/4 in this next bit. So C major 7, D flat major 7, A flat major 7, sharp 5 or C major over A flat, C minor 7 but with a sharp 4 or sharp 11 on top, and hit that really hard as you can, which is not as hard as James Francies can hit anything. I think certainly a piano. You get this, and then a B major triad, which is such a great sound. So B major first inversion, add 9, to D major 7 over E, E13 sus, to B flat minor 11, D major 7, C sharp minor 7, F Lydian, and you don't hang around there. Back on the C minor with the flat 5 there, and then these chords here, which are, well, let's talk about it. First inversion chords. So D flat major, C sharp major, first inversion, add 9, yeah, probably tick. D major, yeah, add 9 or with the sus 2, D sus 2 over F sharp, okay, there we go. This one, B minor, first inversion with the 9, I think so, minor sound, and then C minor. Yeah, I think that's what's going on there. Again, sounds which are so good to my ears, at least. I use chords of that nature all the time when I write music. So this whole section is really hard. I think the rhythm is 4/8, 4/4, 7/8, 4/8, 4/4, 3/8, 4/8, 4/4, 2/4, or various combinations of that. That adds up and it repeats twice. I'll try and play it slow. I'll try and play it at all. Repeats again. So that's the repeat point. Sorry, it sounded good, but it's wrong. And then we're back into the form, and so he plays a B Dorian chord there, and then takes just solos over that, because that's what happens. And they do the form again, and he solos over everything I've just explained. There's one slight variation, which is that when you get to this section, which I played, he starts to play. So again, I think like B minor, B flat major, E flat minor 11. I definitely hear that, and then G flat sus, or G flat 13 sus, G flat 13 flat 9, I think. Again, leave a comment. Leave two, leave more. And then into this extraordinary and then it goes through again. To close, we end up on that melody once more, and then he plays out on some like arpeggios of an extraordinary nature going on here. With some extraordinary variations on that E first inversion chord, which, you know, to my great shame, I don't know and haven't worked out. But that's kind of what's going on. It ends in D minor, I think, and there we go. So that's a tutorial I didn't think I would make, but it seems as if I've made it. So thanks for sticking around. Just shy of 18 minutes. Peace.